is Meredith Bond, and I am here to show you this cute new software called Atticus. It is both for writing and for formatting, but where it really shines is in the formatting. So, of course, I'm going to start by showing you the writing aspect of it. As you can see, I've already started 2 books here. I uploaded one and I started writing one. You'll also notice something strange. You can't see the bottom of the screen here. So in order to show you to see that, I have to make my screen a little smaller. I'm on a PC, but it works just as well on a Mac, this software. And on a PC, I'm going to do Control minus to make my screen smaller. I'm going to do a Control minus to make my screen a little bit smaller so that I can see the bottom of this. I can make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start a new book just to show you the writing part. I'm going to entitle it a new book, which is a clever title, I know. I'm going to put in my author name. And I can put in a project name if this is part of a series. Let's put it in as a test project. Go get 'em, Atticus, because their logo is a dog. It's adorable. Okay, so it starts right away in my chapter. I can put in chapter 1. I can add a subtitle, the beginning, and then I start writing. This is the beginning of my new story. It's going to be a best-selling novel making the New York Times bestseller list. Naturally. Okay, so there is my 23 word. You can see it shows me how many words either in the book, in the chapter, or in that section, which is very nice. It automatically puts in a title page. Oh, I did not. I can edit this book because I forgot to put in my cover page, my cover here. Whoops. Let's just quickly go to some cover. Oh, let's put in a picture of my dog, just because she's cute. So there we are. There's the cover for my book. There's the title. I can put in a subtitle. My author, I can put in the project if I want, the language, the ISBNs. I can put in my publisher name, which is Anessa Books. I can put in my publisher logo, which I will find. There is my logo. And I can put in a link. Oh, it's already there because I typed it in once. So there's my publisher link to my website. Okay, now let's go back to our title page. It automatically puts in a copyright page and a table of contents. In the back matter, that area, as you can see, is empty right now. But if I go down to the bottom, I can put in an epilogue, an afterword, acknowledgments about the author, and also by. And here are other options for my front matter. And you can create templates so that, say, if you've written a number of books and you just want to have the same book also by page in all of your books, you can just create a template and just have that in there. I haven't created one yet. The other thing that I like very much in this writing section of Atticus is over here in More Tools. Oh, by the way, there is a timer where you can, it works like a Pomodoro timer. So you can put in how much time you want to write and set breaks. I think that's very nice. And under More Tools, you can put in a book goal. So this is going to be a novella. And the due date, let's say I will take a month to write that. I can choose what days I'm going to write. I only write during the week. I take my weekends off. And it will tell me how many words I need to write that every day in order to get the book done by the time that I want it done. And it tells me how far along I am in my work. There is also a writing habit section. So I put in that I write 1,500 words a day. I write Monday through Friday. And so it will track for me how many days I have managed to stay on target. So my first day, I wrote 2 words. The second day, I wrote 99 of my 1,500. And it gets closer and closer to how many words, how close I get to my goal. So this is the writing section. It is very nice, very easy, very clean. Let's go to home so that I can show you the real strength of Atticus, which is the formatting. So let's upload a book that I have already written in Microsoft Word. And it is called The Most Adorable Story. So you just find it in your files and drag it over to the program. Fill in the title, The Most Adorable Story, the author, which gives it to me in a drop down because I've already typed it in, and go get 'em, Atticus. Okay, so here is my book. In my Word document, I had already put in my my book description on the first page, but it thinks that this is a chapter in the book, naturally. So I'm going to highlight that and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to go to my front matter and then create a blurb where I can paste that in. Don't know why I put in some spaces there, but okay. And I do not want the title there. I just want it blank so that it just gives the title of the book. It just gives the blurb, the description of the book. Now, if I had one thing that you can do, let's see, let's just type this in just so that we know what that is. So it shows up here, description. Now, if I had wanted to, I could just drag that over here. But when I have figured out that when I do that, it still considers this to be a chapter. And so later when I format the book, if I put in drop caps, for example, into my chapters, it will put a drop cap into this description. And I don't want one there. Obviously, I don't want a drop cap in my front matter. So I'm going to delete that. And I'm just going to use, I just have to use, I have no choice in the matter. I have to use their designation of a blurb. This was the title page that I had in my Word document, so I don't need that. I'm going to delete it. And this was my copyright page. And I put in a cute little note there that I'm just going to cut and I'm going to put that into their copyright page. I'm going to put in the year of publication. I wrote this many, many years ago. And I will put in my, no, okay. I'll do Control V. There it goes. Put in my cute little note, except that I misspelled plagiarizing. There we go. Now I have my copyright page. You can go back and delete this copyright page. And then I have chapter 1. In my chapter 1, this is my subtitle. So I'm going to cut that, and where it says add subtitle, I'm going to paste that in. I can add an image, but I'm not going to. I'm going to get rid of that extra space there, and that is my chapter. I will do the same with chapter 2, add in my subtitle. My About the Author page is here, but once again, I need to use their own About the Author page. So I'm going to highlight that, cut, and go to my back matter, and I will create an About the Author page. And paste that in there. And paste that in there. There it goes. I also have, so then I can go back and delete the About the Author page that I had put in. My books by Meredith Bond. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut and create an also by page here. And then go back and delete the one that I had in my Word document. So here, now, I have my book description, which I always put into the front of my ebooks. I have my title page, my copyright page. It automatically puts in a table of contents. I'll ask it to show my subtitles in my table of contents. And I have my About the Author page and my Also By page. And everything is as I will want it in my formatted book. So let's pop over to formatting. As you can see, they have a number of pre-formatted themes. Well, let's get to a better chapter. There we go. They show you what it will look like over on the right. They have some very nice standard themes, even some very pretty themes, this with its little flowers. Very nice themes. If you are happy with these themes, you just very simply choose a theme, choose whether you want the chapter number, the title. I have subtitles, how you want your chapters. That's for the chapter number. Whether you want it centered on the right. Whether you want drop caps, whether you want small caps. As you see, it puts the first 4 words into small caps. Where you would like to have those, the beginning of every chapter or following every chapter break, every break within a chapter. Whether you want your paragraphs indented or just spaced. And they have a number of ornamental breaks that you can put in. And how wide you want them to be. Your image settings, remember, choose ebook only because your print book, which this does create print books, which is super nice. You want your color images in your ebook only because you're not going to print your physical book in color. For the ebook, you can choose what page you want the book to open to, which is lovely. I always like my books to open to the title page. My print settings, the font, I'll choose Baskerville because I happen to like that. And so you can choose for your print books how you want your headers to be. If you have chapter titles like I do, you can either have them centered or on the right-hand side. If you don't have chapter titles, you might just want the title of the book instead. If you want the page numbers at the bottom, if you don't want any headers, however you like it to be. And of course, then your trim size, the size of your print book, and the advanced settings, whether you want your text justified. I do not like hyphens in books, so I'm going to turn that off. You can change the margins if you want. The font size default is 10 for some reason, which I think is very small, so I'll make it 11. The font size line spacing is at 1.6, which is huge, especially for a print book. I'm going to slide that down to 1.15, which is where I always put it. So if I am happy with things as they are, then I can just go over to here and export the EPUB or export the PDF print version. But I'm a very particular person and I like my own themes. So I'm going to create my themes, my own theme. I want to put an image into my title, underneath my chapter title. They do also give you the option to put it behind your chapter title, which is very nice. If I have different images for each chapter, I can choose to put in individual images for each chapter, but I don't. I have one image that I have already uploaded here. And there it is. That is my image that I want underneath my chapters. And I can choose how wide I want the image and whether I want it centered. I can choose where I want the image. I happen to like it between the chapter title and the subtitle. I don't use chapter numbers, so I'm going to skip that. My chapter title. So you can choose from a number of fonts here. For your chapter title font, you cannot upload your own, unfortunately. They do that for copyright reasons. But I happen to like Cinzel Decorative, so I will choose that, and I want it centered. And I can choose the size and how wide it is across the page. And the same with my subtitle. Let's choose a simple font. That is not a simple font. That's good. And I want that also centered. And my header fonts, I will just go with that. And I can name my theme. Let's name it the Adorable Theme. save. And as you can see, I've been fooling around with other themes. But let's go with our adorable theme. And now things are just the way I want them to be. And I will export my EPUB and see what my book looks like. And it is opening up Kindle Previewer because I have that installed on my computer as my default program to read EPUBs, to read ebooks. It will just take a moment. And here is my book. And as you see, it started on the title page, just as I told it to. I can go back to my book description, which it centers on the page, which is kind of strange, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it. My copyright page, my table of contents. Oops, and I forgot to tell it not to put in the chapter numbers. So it put in my chapter title, it put in my image, and it put in my subtitle, my drop caps, and those small caps. My About the Author page, again, it's centered, which is odd. And my Also By page. But I need to go back and take out those chapter numbers. Here, it's right there. I missed it. There it is. Now it takes out the chapter numbers. I can export that again, and here we are. Much better. So there we are. And I now have a pretty nicely formatted book. And now if I want to export the PDF to see what the print version would look like, I can just save it there. And I've opened up the book in Adobe Acrobat, and let's just see how it looks. So there's my book description, which actually in a physical book, I don't normally put that in because it's on the back cover, but I'm sure that I can suppress that in Atticus. I'll show you how in a moment. There's my title page. It does put the copyright at the bottom of the page for some reason. But there it is. And my About the Author and my Also By. So let's quickly pop back to Atticus and close that and tell it, here is my blurb. See, include in ebook only. So there I can, now when I create the PDF, it won't have that in there. And here we are back in Adobe. And once again, let's take a look at the two-page view. And now the book description is no longer there. It just starts with the title page. If I want to put in a blank page, I'm sure I could. But there is my beautiful formatted book. As you can see, it was super easy to do. They do most of the work for you. You just customize it, tell them how you want it to look, and with the press of a button, Atticus creates your ebook and your print-on-demand book very simply. So enjoy, make beautiful books.